All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Full Body Cast presents Garage Night. Garage Night brought to you by Cole Street Brewery, Mazatlan, Bordeaux Wine Bar, semi-sponsored by a golf course, Sage Hills Golf Course as well. I'm going to throw them out there. That's pretty sweet. They're out in Wander, Washington. Go check them out. If you're out there, I know it's not kind of off golf. Also, I'm going to throw a quick shout out, kind of sponsored by the Kettle, a little bit through Thomas, I'd say. Just because the Kettle's back in town, there's already talks of doing a full buddy brunch. Once the NFL season ends, we got those Sunday every once in a while. What we'll do is we'll go get the brunch at the Kettle, walk on down to Cole Street, and grab drinks, mimosas, whatever at Bordeaux, and go to the Cole Street as well if they're open on Sundays. I know that Sean sometimes has Sundays in the winter a little bit wonky hours, but check it out anyway. More to come on that. So also, we'll be talking about it. I got some more announcements I've got to make, but I'm very happy to have Craig Bentley on the mic.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
And Corey Bentley on the mic.
I like his. Hey, it's me. I'm happy to be.
I'm
here.
happy to be.
I'm happy to be here too.
It's been a while. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy December 23rd when this comes out. Are we doing Fantasy Full Buddy after this?
No.
Okay. Are we done doing Fantasy Full Buddy?
Forever.
Until next year?
No.
No,
Forever.
it's coming back next year.
We're not doing it next year.
We're going to do it next year. We're bringing it back next year.
Our advice is
Spoiler alert, not doing it next year.
Spoiler, doing it next year. If Full Buddy Cast is a thing, but it seems like it's always gonna be a thing. It's kind of moved. Full Buddy Cast, it's turned into kind of like this, like it's there for you. We're not doing we are going to record, but at our leisure. And Craig is the one who's probably the most leisurous person out of this group.
Leisureist?
Maybe Corey?
Doing the most things or not doing?
Not doing the most things.
Oh, yeah, that's me by far.
Leisure suit.
Larry.
Yeah. the game I always wanted to get when I just got too scared to rent it because I was like, they're gonna think I'm weird. Anyway, so Craig, let's do a quick catch up. Last time I saw you, it was at Cole Street and the ski. Hung out with you the day before Thanksgiving. Had a good time. A little rattled. I was a little rattled, but I had a good time. Had a lot of self-reflection. Again, stuff to come up I'm going to tell you guys about later, but let's catch up with Craig first. Craig?
Yes, sir.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Did
not have gravy.
Did not have gravy.
So it was good.
Did you have any sauce?
No.
Sauce Gardner?
No. I did not.
How has your Eagles season been?
Well, by the time this comes out, depending tomorrow or whatever, they'll be 13-1 or 14-1. So they're pretty good.
Does it feel? I mean,
pretty good. One loss. Not bad.
It had to have surpassed some expectations.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you figure playoffs?
I figured playoffs. I didn't figure on, and I figured it would be real close, winning the division with Dallas because as much as I hate Dallas, they're a decent team. But I think the one loss so far with the schedule that's left, I'm thinking potentially just 2 losses on the season, maybe 3 if you throw one in, if we rest some people. But I don't think that was a expectation to have 1 or 2 losses to start the season.
And do you feel like when Goddard got injured I think he's back now.
No, he's not back yet, but they're hoping to have him back for a playoff push.
That's crazy that they were able to continue doing what they do with Goddard out.
I think as much as the Eagles teams have been good recently, even since the Super Bowl, they haven't had depth that they have now.
Yeah. They have a top 5 offensive line and a top 5 defensive line together.
Both
their lines are top.
I don't think one person missing would kill the team.
AJ Brown?
I still think the team wins without AJ Brown. He's a huge part.
Jalen Hurts?
That's a little bit different.
Jalen Hurts is the X factor of where you go from here.
Yeah.
Because you have everything else in place. How he plays affects everything else.
Yeah. I love the Eagles right now. I'm probably top 4 Eagles fan. You know what? 3. I'm gonna hop Brandon Thorpe on this one. I think it goes Craig.
I don't know if you can hop him. You know where he is when this comes out.
Where is he at?
So
he's going to two.
He's
games.
going to Chicago to see the Bears play the Eagles. Then he's going to Dallas to see the Eagles play Dallas.
You know what we're gonna give him? Runner-up. We're gonna give him runner-up. Honorary mention Eagles fan.
Honorary.
That just shows that
what I would like to see, even though he does not listen to this and probably doesn't like it, is a live look-in like me and Corey did in Indy. I'd like to see that from Soldier Field and from Arlington.
Corey, do you think you can set that up?
Well, I can put a request in.
Yeah, just get a little. Just see if he can just focus on the cleats and the shoes.
I mean, he might only send it to Craig because
I'm just a big shoe and cleat guy in the box.
That was a very interesting setup they had.
We were so close.
We could almost steal their shoes, and we wanted to let people know that.
How's that stadium? Like, it's cool, but check out this locker of shoes.
Like, they put them all right next to him.
Go check out the Full Body Cast page. That was from last year when Craig and Corey went to. They went live from Indianapolis Stadium or whatever they call it. What do they call it? Oh, Lucas Oil.
Lucas Oil.
Is it Lucas Oil? Yeah.
Row
Lucas.
1 next to the cleats.
That's way cool. That's right next to the cleats. That's next to the cleats, please. You guys should go on the road tour and just do that. Just hit up every stadium, row 1, and just get as close as you can to the shoes every time.
I don't know, but every stadium we go to, the coach is going to get fired the year after.
Ooh, that's a little rough.
Or the year of, with Brandon going to Dallas. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing that one. All right, so Craig, Christmas. How's your Christmas been like season so far heading into it?
He's jolly. Look at him.
Yeah,
You are. You got the beard's a little fuller.
yeah, got things going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, I don't know what else to. It is what it is.
I just didn't know if there's anything to catch up. I don't know anything. I'm not saying there should be. I just didn't know if there's anything like.
No, I
When it comes
I
to
have breaking news.
Yeah.
First time ever.
What?
I think we've talked about this before. I have a live Christmas tree
Oh,
for the first time
Nice.
ever this year.
Where'd you get it at?
I don't know, some farm place.
But was it like? So you went?
yeah, I went out to like
you
you
picked
cut
it
your
out.
you pick thing. Yeah, and we went and got one, and it's in my living room now.
Is the grocery store selling Christmas
They
trees
didn't
anymore?
have any. No, they didn't. See
Not this
anything.
time?
Not
No.
this year. No.
Anyway, okay. So you went out there, picked it out yourself.
Yeah.
Got on both knees.
Actually, it was the one. So remember the road that you saw the mysterious white truck on?
yeah, right by the Whitney Bridge.
Yeah, it's right down there. The one that's right on the bottom of that. When you go on that,
Oh, wait,
the
oh,
little,
intersection?
that little tree farm down there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not little.
Well, no, it's not.
It's actually pretty big.
So it actually
spot.
it blew my mind. I start walking and I'm like looking and I'm like to the left and I look to the right and I kept walking. I hear voices. I'm like, where are they at? Like it's endless, just rows and rows.
That would be a nice Christmas psychological thriller if you were to just.
That would be a good murder movie.
Yeah,
like,
to get lost.
Yeah.
Everyone's get lost in corn mazes, but not Christmas
not
tree
Christmas
farms.
trees. Yeah,
Yeah, put it together.
don't steal that from me.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, so don't steal it, please. No one listen, steal that. We're gonna do it. Core, what else is going on other than that? Are you watering it every day?
Yeah, well, not every day.
I
When
kind of give
when
up.
it needs it. Like when we just check it to see how
we
full
water
the water is.
every day.
Oh, so you got a live one too.
Oh yeah, I was
Well, I got to shout out Cameron Stratton and Ben Craighead because I got my live tree through them. Ben does mortgages. Craig sells real estate, and so they come together every once in a while. They've been doing this for a few years, but this one they have at Christmas in the cows, in the tree farm, whatever, and they paid for my Christmas tree. Anyone, because I had got a mortgage through Ben last year, so. Anyway, support those guys, and they supported me back, so that was nice.
Nice.
So every time I look at the Christmas tree in my living room, I think, "There's Ben Craighead in my living room." So, but so you got a live one.
yes.
Or do you have multicolored lights, or is it just white lights?
Multicolor,
It's white lights.
white and blue.
No, just white.
Oh.
And then the first pitch to me was get the live tree, and it can be white and blue if I wanted it to be.
That's
And I
how
was-
it is. Bait
and I
and
was
switch.
like, I was like, that's fine. We can do red. It's red and gold with streamers and white lights. It's all fancy in the corner.
Nice.
Nice. And there are tree. Are you guys put the presents out underneath right away, or do you guys like kind of hold off a little bit because it's
Our
maybe?
kids are old enough that we don't do that anymore.
But do you put any like you wrap it and throw it underneath there?
It's sitting in the room, like wrapped.
Yeah.
Because Carrie loves rapping, so she does it all the time. It's rapped way beforehand.
Dude, I
But
wish
it literally sits in our
I
bedroom.
wish there was not a W in front of that. What if she could rap?
She likes the other way too.
Yeah, if she could rap a song, what would be her song that she would rap? I think we've had this conversation possibly like
probably Gangster's Paradise.
would it be Gangster's Paradise?
Probably.
All right.
Or she would do a remix of an 80s song as a rap.
Oh,
Probably like
nice.
Take On Me as a rap.
Take on me.
That
Take
would,
on.
I feel like if
Take
I feel
me.
like if a rapper redid Take On Me, it would be very dirty.
Yeah, that would be good. Good call.
Yeah.
So we put the presents underneath the tree. We took a trip to Vegas for our Christmas present to the family. So I've been holding out on like this surprise, and I'll be like, okay, guys, like Jamie and I, we got cheap flights. We got a free room. We actually purchased another room at the Venetian, a suite. Got it for a little discount on the second room as well.
Did you guys go up to the top floor in the Venetian?
No, we couldn't do that. We're not. What do you think? My last name is Bentley.
Yeah, you gotta know a guy.
So, in fact, he never reached out to me after that episode. So who knows if he even listened to it? but no. So we were telling the kids this whole time. I came up with the idea. I'm like, hey, like we're gonna have. I wanted to think of something really boring that they would be like, not like disgusted with, but like just like, this is lame. This ruins Christmas. So I was like, hey, by the way, the only time we can get our walls painted and our windows redone is in December. So we got to be out of the house for a few weeks or a few days, and we got to go to this. I could only find like a small hotel room that might have maybe a hot tub, no pool, and we got to like everyone's got to just kind of find a couch and sleep on it maybe or the side of the room. So I was making it sound horrible, and it didn't. So I told them that they were like, "Oh, sweet! Like what type of windows are we getting? And what color can we paint my room?" And I was like, "Oh, this is this backfired on me."
You actually ruined it. Like,
Yeah, I
they
know.
hope they could have got it now.
I know. It was like surprising Craig with something. And he could kind of catch on that this was something that's kind of ruin his day, and he's like, "This is the best thing in the world." And so so we keep telling it, and okay, pack, and hey, I want you guys to drive on. It's going to be a while, so bring your IDs, so that basically they get on a flight. And
It's gonna be a long drive because we couldn't find a hotel anywhere near us.
yeah, might have borrowed from the Christmas Story with all the rooms at the inns being. We might be living in a manger. I don't know, in a barn somewhere. But we're driving, and Jamie lives out or works out in Puyallup. Her mom lives out in Sumner, and we're leaving in the afternoon. So I was like, well, rather than you drive all the way back, and then we drive and your mom and her mom's going, and her brother was going too. So I'm like, why don't you just ride with them? We're on the same flight, and we'll meet at Master Park and then head over to the airport. So, but then I realized halfway while I was driving that she wouldn't see the kids' reactions when they see the airport. So I FaceTimed her on the, put it in the console and FaceTimed her. And so, hey, all the kids are here. Should we tell them? And she's like, yeah, I guess we should tell them. And I said, okay, well, we're not really actually going to this place. We got tickets to the airport. We're going to Vegas for a few nights. Let's go. Like, this is your Christmas present. And the kids were like, what? Like, they were processing it. They're like, no way. Show us the tickets. And I showed them the tickets on the phone. They're like, no, all right. They were all excited. It turned out that when they were telling the story back to others and us, like, oh, yeah. Like, Madden was like, I thought you guys were going to get a divorce. And I'm like, what? She goes, well, because she wasn't with us. Jamie wasn't with us. And the last time, like 9 years ago, you said, hey, should we have a talk? Should we have the talk with them? Hey, should we have the talk with them? Yeah, we probably should. Mom and dad are getting a divorce. So she had PTSD come back during that moment. And so she thought we were getting divorced, but no, it was fun. One thing I did learn on this trip was, because I had to stare at myself in the mirror, look at myself and go, you piece of crap, you gambling piece of crap. You're not gambling on this trip. It's a family trip. I see it in your eyes. You want to, but you're not going to. I had to tell myself, you're not going to gamble. during family time. And so I said, okay, don't do that. So what we did instead was I kind of booked a bunch of stuff, went to the Mob Museum, went to Area 15, went to the arcade, went to these different restaurants, walked around. But what worked out well is because everyone's together, the whole family, and, tensions kind of rise a little bit with the kids, teenagers bumping each other, 6-year-old running around, not listening. So, it just kind of creates a little bit of a stress. So what I learned by accident was I was like, hey, tonight, this is the second night, because we got dinner the first night, went back to our hotel rooms, hung out. Second night, I was like, hey, we've had a big day. What if we just shut down, and me and Kane had our own room and the girls had their own room. So we're like, hey, why don't we just get dinner and then bring it back to our room and just chill? And Madden brought a board game and cards, and Megan had her phone, and Jacqueline had her iPad, and Kane. So it was they loved that part. So they were okay with putting up with the day of just going places and being smashed together. And then because they knew at night there's that finish line at 9 p.m. after dinner, just go back and then they can just decompress. So then they decompress. That's when I went and gambled. So it was perfect. It worked out well for everybody. I was able to set my boundaries and live with them and still enjoy my trip. So it was the last time I feel, by the way, I think Megan and Sid, they're
I think they are.
they're homies.
That's what I heard.
A little bit. It's kind of the blood Crips, when they're holding the sand, they're holding the bandanas.
I taught Sid to play the long game.
You're like, hey, listen, I've been trying to ruin this guy's life for a while, and I can't have you ruining this for me.
But they throw down the blue and the red.
She's part of it. Yeah, you had to bring her in on it. Yeah, you got to have the sit down with her. And then he was like, "This is a father-daughter bonding moment that he never got while coaching her teams.
This is going to be way better."
He's like,
the payoff is amazing.
I'm quitting coaching all teams right now because of this.
We got to put our efforts all into this one basket.
They've got that cork board where they've got photos and they've
Charlie
got,
on It's Always Sunny,
tying things together. But anyway, yeah. So it was a good time. I was gonna say I can't remember.
Did you get some sports betting in? Then
got some sports betting in. By the way, I was gonna grab mine. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's so much fun. This is a newfound love for me. I was wondering what my next obsession was going to be. I'm always pondering that as a guy who gets addicted to things. It's like, gosh, this could go either way. This could either be really bad or really good. And then I found it. I'm like, this is actually pretty fun. Parlay love. I'm up on the year for the NFL. The other day I went to, I had a friend in town. So I said, hey, let's go to the sports book at Muckleshoot. So we ate there. Halfway through, we're losing the Thursday night bets, most of them. Little win. I like to bet enough to, the smart bets that will pay for, because those are bet 10 to win $9.50. So you're basically getting your money back on covering a spread or taking a money line possibly, or maybe the over or the under. So I have a few of those smart ones in a sense, they're probably going to hit, and they're not going to pay me much, but at least they pay me. And then I'll take $5 and go 7-leg parlay and hopefully hit it. I've only hit the largest has been a 3-leg parlay, and that's only been $80 off of a $5 bet. But I hit on accident the George Kittle first touchdown last night. I wanted to have him. I put $10 on him to be a touchdown scorer, but I accidentally hit first touchdown scorer. So then I made another bet of a touchdown. So I got two separate bets. George Kittle, boom, touchdown against my Seahawks. But hey, I got paid on that. That was together combined about $70. So I was happy about that. But yeah, sports betting, it's been fantastic. I was able to get some down there. Oh yeah, when I went with my friend, they got all these. They got a huge TV screen of a game, and they also have some small TVs on the left-hand border, and then down at the bottom of different games, mostly college basketball games. And so I see ASU, who I'm a big fan of now. They were down by 10 points, and It was starting in the second quarter. They I think at the time they were 6-1 or 7-1. The team they were playing was 3-4. So I'm like, this 3-4 team is gonna they're not gonna finish this. There's no way. And so I went and put like a $20 bet, and the odds were like 7. I made like 160 because they ended up coming back and winning it. And so you can live bet the game. The odds change as they get closer or further away from coming back. But so yeah, I don't know. Rambled on that, but anyway.
But passion now.
Passion, dude, so much. I'm going there tonight. To make
Would you ever pay a lump sum to a site that breaks down all of the mathematical things for you for what the bets you should be making? So like there's a site that I know of that if you pay them like $700 up front, they give you the entire betting odds for the entire NCAA and NFL football seasons, and then they have their track record and they give you why they do it. It's all scientific.
Yeah.
Would you upfront pay that if you know you're probably going to make that $700 back? Prior
to anything of this, I would have said nah. I just run with it. But it pays to make money in a sense. So I would. I don't know if you guys watch Barstool Advisors. I watch Barstool Advisors. It's got Stu Feiner on it. Stu Feiner does like the Sunday night special. It's like $69. Favorite position, favorite number, and it's 3 best bets. And so people will pay $69, and he's like 78 to 80% on the NFL season right now. So I mean, he could go on 3. But if you're winning at least 60% of your bets, you're making money. So, and then, like I said, I'm up on the season. I'm not up by much on this season. Again, I make smart bets, but then also some wild bets. But the smart bets pay for the wild bets and a little bit more. So I've put about $300 into this season, and I'm at like up to so I've won the 300 back plus 80. So it's fun for me. I'm not like retiring off of it. It keeps me vested and interested in the NFL games. So, and then again, that 65 of it was the George Kittle touchdown last night. So I'm up. I'm about even this week. And so, plus I'm playing off my winnings from the previous week. So it's fun. Yeah. But yes, I would. If I got if I'm like ready to start dropping grands on stuff, of course I'd pay somebody $70 to tell me their 3 best bets if they're going 80. But that full 700, I don't know. Half the thing is just feeling good. Like it's probably like fantasy football for you guys and me, where you're like, I feel good about this player. I feel good about this, so I'm going to start this guy and like I'm so smart that paid off. By the way, what was the one? We had the Scary Skellies last week.
Yeah.
Did you put your
I did.
2 cents in there? How'd that? I didn't even look at that.
Well, mine went how I thought it would. I was just hoping he was going to do it.
Did he do it?
No.
So you were trying to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Would you tell him to play Dak?
I told him to play Brady.
Oh.
He said Brady in his homecoming, Kittle because better than Thielen, which Thielen was better than Kittle that week. But look out for the QB and Titans.
he did play the Titans defense.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I actually was like, because I said go Dak, Thielen, and the Seahawks defense, and the Seahawks defense got blown out, and I'm like, oh, that was bad. That was stupid of me. And I look and like the Titans defense got way blown out. And so I was like, I would think it was 3 for 3 on that one. No, actually, Dak wasn't the highest scoring quarterback on that one.
Dak didn't have a good week.
Geno was better than Dak.
It was Geno. It went Geno, Dak, Brady, Thielen over Kittle, and I think it was actually
he had Carolina too, didn't he?
Geno versus Carolina. Defense was Jets versus Bills, which was bad. Hawks versus Carolina, which was bad. Miami versus Chargers was bad. Someone said Titans. Signani said Titans. So then I was like, well, at least I beat Signani with those Titans defenses. So.
That's right. He still snuck into the playoffs anyway, even though he lost.
On the Full Buddy of the Full Buddy League?
No, Jared on.
Oh, he did. Yeah. So did you guys make the playoffs?
I didn't in mine.
I did not. But I snuck in mine.
And the full buddy one.
Yeah, ask him what he's doing this week.
What are you doing this week? Are you gonna buy?
No. So I made the play, squeaked in. I play 18 this week, first round. And actually, I'll show you, and then you can share it because I think it's amazing to show people. So this is
Share it as in on this. I can read it.
Well, you can read it.
Okay.
But I'll just show you our matchup this week. There's what we're doing this week.
So it's. Oh, you guys are just doing kickers.
Yes.
That's so cool. That's a great idea. So you guys, this is you guys are in the lower.
No.
You guys are up the. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's coin flip league. Why don't you guys name
So-
one of your team's heads and the other one tails?
So the funny thing about it was I sent him, and he could take credit for this. I sent him this thing. We both set our lineups, and it was literally 115.51 to 115.61 projected.
Mm.
And I sent him this thing going, oh, and we went 1-1 during the regular season.
So
Okay?
this is okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I sent him a thing going, man, it's like right there. It's gonna be a super close game. And he said something back. Goes, why don't we just start our kickers? I'm like, I thought about it, and honestly, if you look at his team, probably more upside to his team. That's why he finished way ahead of me also. And I'm like, yeah, I guess we could do that. And I have Tucker.
Dude, this is great.
So then he starts doubting it, which is fine. I mean, I go, hey, just let me know by Friday. Well, I forgot about the game last night.
Oh, so you benched people?
So I sent him a thing at like 3. It said, hey, you actually we need to figure this out now because we both have people tonight if we don't sit or if we don't just do kickers. And I get a thing back, goes, nope, let's do it. And I saw he took all his people out. So I'm like, okay.
How great would it be if he snuck it right back in at like 4:59?
Well, here's the thing though. So he had McCaffrey last night.
Oh.
But here's the deal. I had Kittle.
Oh.
So we pretty much washed there also.
Yeah, okay.
Even with 2 touchdowns, Kittle still
How funny would it be?
almost washed with McCaffrey.
How funny would it be? It might just come down to the kickers, even if you started
Exactly,
everybody.
exactly.
So just might as well just start kickers. So, because we got games on Saturday and
Okay,
Sunday.
so here's the other funny thing.
I hope that they
And
both
Monday.
have mediocre games.
Yes.
And it's like 1 field goal to 2.
So here's even the funnier thing.
or they just tie it like
So-
7 points.
One
When-
has 2 extra points and one has 1, and that's it.
When we made the bet, I had Tucker, and he had Koo
Ooh,
Okay.
Dome.
So-
Where's Tucker playing?
in Cincy, I believe.
Okay, so they're not in a dome, but Koo is in a dome.
But so I go, oh,
That's
well,
the Saints.
and I go, well, you'll know because Tucker plays Saturday,
yeah,
right?
Yes, yeah.
And he goes, and I go, you'll know what you have to get for Sunday, right? After the game last night,
No way he dropped Koo.
he dropped Koo, and he goes and he picks up. Is it
McPherson is Cincinnati's kicker.
No, he went and picked up Laughlin, whoever the Colts kicker
McLaughlin?
is. The Colts play Saturday before the Ravens.
So he just wanted to get it out.
like that's something I would do.
Are you just honestly?
You should go pick up Koo. Don't drop Tucker. Just pick up Koo like you're making a decision to play one or the other.
Who has Tucker?
I do.
He does.
Are they going head to head?
No, but the fact that he dropped Koo, maybe I should go pick him up
You
and
should
start
pick
him
him up
against him.
To make
That'd
him
be so
You
funny.
should pick him up to make him think that you're gonna
Dude,
do it.
how does so is man? I would still take Koo. Holy cow, Koo can kick some long ones. It's just getting in.
You should
in
go
the
pick him
range.
up. That way he can't change his mind and go pick him back up.
That would be good.
Yeah.
You should.
I don't have to do that.
So, are you kind of liking what 18's doing?
I did. I actually, because what he said, it was kind of like, okay. And then the fact that he actually went through with it and pulled everybody out, because I did. I pulled everybody out and said, I'm in, like right off the bat. And he didn't, he was kind of wavering. And then as soon as he's like, I'm in, and I saw he pulled everybody out, I'm like, I got respect for him.
And then
And he's the defending champion from last year. So if I could take him out on a kicker, that'd be even better.
So then when he flipped the script on you and then dropped Koo for McPherson and he jumped ahead,
I respect that.
do you feel like you're playing chess against yourself a little bit?
No, he's not that smart.
That's true.
He's trying though.
He's trying hard.
What he's trying to do is he's trying to impress any member of my league that has voting power.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's cool. So if someone drops out, is someone dropping out of your main league?
The main league?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. No.
But is 18 in the? Isn't he? Oh, he's not.
He's not in the main league.
But was I told that he will never be in the main league?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why won't?
Thou
he?
shall not be named. Will not allow him in.
Is it just out of pure spite, or is it like
Out of pure
Maybe I would say like 6 years
nonsense?
from now,
Nonsense.
just
the way
being
he
nonsense
plays.
about it?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I got you.
like when he's older,
More mature.
calm down a little bit.
Gotcha. Right now, he's still the puppy running around,
Yeah.
smashing into things.
Yeah.
Right now, he's the one sending you stupid trades over and over again.
Okay. So he's just trying to. He doesn't want to deal with the BS.
He needs to get people on his side and not poke the bear.
And the bear.
And what he was doing was poking a bear in a pool.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, well, let me just. So for the Full Buddy listeners, we're gonna continue with Full Buddy Cast, but I gotta tell you, I'm having surgery December 30th. I'm having it's a hernia surgery. I can't lift anything for like 15 or more than 50 pounds for like 3 months, 6 months. I can't lift anything more than like 35 pounds. And the doctor's like, hey, you can't like just start picking things up when you're like, it's like, okay, you're 6 months. Now you can just start lifting heavy weights. He said, you don't want this to keep coming back. So just let it repair. So kind of golf's out for me for a bit. I really do want to go to Sage Hill's golf course because they're a sponsor. So I might just do by that time once it kind of warms up a little bit, maybe April, May. I could do like a little short game stuff. Definitely the doctor said he actually said you could putt, you might be able to chip, but no like trying to drive the green, none of that stuff, which might actually improve my game. So I may have to do like a master blaster where I just have someone hit my drives for me. I'm just the little guy on the top of the big guy in Mad Max. And so
You can start a putt-putt league.
we could do putt-putt.
You can start a league.
That'd be fun. We need to have something around here.
There's a putt-putt in Puyallup. Right
That's
down
too
there.
far. That's too far. That's
Gotta be within walking distance.
yes, yeah. And I can't drive for 10 days.
Talk to Sean.
There's
Maybe
a
he'll
lot-
set
yeah.
something up in Union Club.
His front yard is pretty much a
Actually, our one of our good listeners pretty much gonna continue to broaden his horizons. Enum Claw. I probably should just bring in a putt putt also.
yes, absolutely. Thomas, just go ahead and do that. Go out there and get it, son. In fact, I think that there's a nice pool at a friend's house that I know that could probably use like at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 holes of.
So what you're saying is there should be 18 people's houses that are each one hole, and then you have to travel to
Yeah.
each person's house.
By the 4th house, you wouldn't want to keep going.
No, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, no.
But you pay the full price either way. Business model.
Business model. I love it.
Whoever 18th house is never has to do anything. Nobody makes it there.
19th hole, the person's just sitting there like he's got a nice bar full of drinks. It's like never shows
Nobody
up.
ever comes. But he still gets paid because he's part of the
Oh, I
group.
heard car door. No, it's just the Amazon truck delivery again. Yeah, so I got that coming up. So December 30th, I'm going to be out for a bit. I don't know if I'm going to. I want to bring on. So here's what I want to do. Here's my wish list. So we have Christmas wish lists for everything. I want to continue with Garage Night. I'd like to bring back Brouhaha a little bit once Sean can find some time. I know he's super busy. I love the Full Buddy Friday idea. I'm supposed to have Andy or the Full Buddy Brunch. I'm supposed to have Andy on soon as well. I'm still doing stuff with my uncle. Joey is wanting to just go. So he wants to record, which is, these are all nice. These are all things. But here's what they're from your grade. Mel Franz and Jackie Van Hoof.
Okay.
They're on they're not well they might have TikToks.
Not no more. TikTok
They're on
getting banned.
They're on Instagram as they are hilarious. They make so very funny videos and clips. I forget what they're called though. Let's see here, Jackie. Let me see. It's like girls. I forget.
Just type in girls. I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah, yeah. And then start liking everything, and then watch my wife kill
A
me.
1996 Girls Gone Wild video.
Yeah. They they make some freaking hilarious. I forget
Good content.
Anyway, but I messaged them and I said, "Hey, this is back in like August. I said, "Hey, I'd love to have you guys on." And they're like, "We're in. Let's do it." So we are going to bring them on at some point. Any stories about them you want? I mean, you grew up with them a little bit, right? Do you remember any of they graduated in 99 with you?
Put me on the spot. I'll come up with some by the time. I'll figure it out by the time they come on here.
Okay, I like that.
You have a secret.
Have to do a little research.
You'll have a secret questions to ask in your pocket that they won't be expecting.
Yes, I like that. Gosh, what is the? It's like
secret.
It's like a wine. It's like a wine thing.
Don't tell.
Oh well, I'll figure it out by the.
Red? Is it a red wine?
No, they're funny as heck. I wish I could find it. Usually it's like the first thing that pops up in my feed, and I must have watched all the TikTok things because it's not there anymore. But all right, I'll look for that. But Corey, we're going kind of deep with Corey. Corey,
what was that?
You were telling us about telling me one day about some books you're reading. And do we want to go into that a little bit? We don't have to go into super detail, but like the books.
That's up to you if you want to go into it.
I'd love to, because Killing the Ego is kind of the main.
Yeah, it's one of the books that I've read.
So explain that a little bit. What does Killing the Ego mean?
So it's a Stoicism book. When I've talked to here before about when I was reading through things with Stoicism, and there's a book that has solely to do about your ego and about. Basically, it comes down to killing your own ego, and that's the way you take things from people and give other people kind of the power over like what you think they think of you type of thing. And that's your ego a lot of the time working to think that you matter so much in that person's life that they're all thinking about you all the time and caring so much about if you did something, if you were at the bar, you did something or said something stupid, that person's going home and thinking about that all the time.
Yeah.
But our egos and our self tells us that was stupid, that we shouldn't have said that. We did this.
Right.
And it's part of all that. And ego has a lot to do with how you treat other people and treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. Treat yourself better.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to read it. When you had mentioned it to me, it did spawn. It was spurred off of like, believe it or not, it's just me and my wife were talking about this. I could be a complete basket case. And the weirdest things will just it's like that princess. It was like the old fable where that princess had like a pea that was underneath the mattress.
So she could feel it.
And she could feel it. Like that's kind of me, where it's like some people would sleep on it, no big deal. And every once and for most things, I think for me that can, but there's just certain things that are peas and they just bother my sleep. And so really they do. And so
I'd put a second one in there.
But see,
just 20 million peas under his bed.
But I think it's because if I can understand the situation and understand people, like that wouldn't bother me. Craig could load it up with peas, and I would be like, it's just Craig being Craig. Now, if Craig had the opportunity to load it up with peas, and I knew it, and he didn't load up with any peas, and I would be like, what's going on? Where's the thing?
If we're gonna use an analogy with me in it, more than likely,
he ain't using no peas.
I would take the pea that you think is there, take it out, and never tell you, and you would continue to think it was there.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And then once I found out that it was, I was like, okay, you got me. But if I knew that you were in my room prior with a bucket full of peas, and then I walk back in and I check and there's no peas, that I'm like, oh, the peas are still there in the bucket. And I look underneath the mattress, there's like no peas. I'm like, okay, there's probably a pea in my shoe. There's probably a pea on the towel.
There is pea in your shoe. It's just not from the peas.
Terrible analogy. But there are certain things that I've had to work through. My wife, I was watching a comedian today, and he was talking about how his wife, his new girlfriend, he said, you ever had a normal girlfriend who doesn't get mad at stuff? It's nuts. He said, he's like, sometimes, like I'll see a couple fighting because my girlfriend doesn't fight with me. And I'll drive by and I'll see a couple fighting. I go, how come that can't be us? How come you can't be mean to me? How come, and it's because you feel more comfortable in that area, because you're used to it. And it's very weird to have a wife that doesn't really. So she's walked me through some times where I've wanted to self-destruct, and several times, and been set off by things where she just kind of sits there and just goes, okay, you're gonna handle this, you're good. And I'm like, but you don't even understand. And those things have those things have been further and farther between as we've been together. But again, yeah, some things will set me off. And so then when I was talking to you, you were telling me about that, and I was like, oh man, like that's kind of what I need. And so it's kind of given me an idea to kind of ponder the Werther's Original Candy, where I'm just kind of like sitting there and just kind of like not digesting it, but just kind of like thinking about it, So anyway, yeah, would love to read that. I think that's something that could probably improve my just my mental health and way of life, and then I can kind of clear it out. One person told me he doesn't like being a mean boss, and he goes, I could be a mean boss if I want to. He said, but the thing is like that person probably deserves it, but their kid doesn't deserve it, and their wife doesn't deserve it. So if I chew this guy out, which he definitely needs to get chewed out for, he's going to go home, and that kid's going to spill his milk, and then he's going to chew his kid out. And so because he's bringing that tension, that stress, and now he's going to unload on his kid. So he goes, what I have to do as a leader is learn how I can best get this guy to turn around and work the way I would like him to work. And then I also got to be okay with some things that he's not, so I'm not nitpicking on him, so then he doesn't turn around and then destroy this kid. And so
he also does it within himself, though.
Yeah.
In that great leadership, he doesn't tear himself down either. Because in that action where when you become that person that's yelling and screaming and treating the people that way all the time, that action has consequences to yourself. So even if that person deserves it, you choosing not to do it is better for yourself and your mental and physical health in general anyway. Because just because somebody deserves to be treated some way doesn't mean you're the one that needs to lower yourself to that level to do it. You can always make a different choice. That person doesn't control you. That their action doesn't control your action.
You letting them.
It's you making that their choice, making your reaction to it. And I'm not saying let people walk over you either.
Right. No.
But there's a way you can handle it, especially in a power position of leadership, that is a more respectful and a better way for you to come out of it. And when you walk away, you still hold your integrity and what you did in place instead of falling down to that person. That person has to deal with their own stuff when they go home and however they're feeling. And again, I don't know what that person went through.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a position of leadership and something happens, I'd rather talk to that person like this and try to figure out why that's going on and try to fix that instead of always hammering them, because you don't know what happened with that person either. And
then I think you throw the Craig factor into things, and I think Craig would just be like, if that manager came to him and said, Craig, it's driving me nuts, whether they yelled at him, screamed at him, or just talked to him and told him, Craig would just, okay, and then he would just do what that guy said, and he wouldn't bring it home with him. Like, he would just roll off his back. You wouldn't then scream and yell at your wife and kids, I don't think.
No, that's probably a very true statement.
You just, okay, I'll just do it, and then.
But that's very it. So there's compression of things too. So everybody has the capacity to let things go and let things roll off. Over time, for some people, it's easier than other people. The expression to let things roll off or act like a duck, all that stuff, that's very easy to tell somebody to do. But it's very hard for somebody that's struggling with mental health or struggling with something to realize that. And to realize in that moment that this isn't that big of a deal, to take yourselves out of where you're sitting and look up from, space, that you're a very small speck. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's hard for that person to realize that in that moment.
Yeah.
So to tell somebody to let it roll off their back without any other context or conversation doesn't help that person.
No, especially if it's your wife and you're like, hey, you need to chill.
Yeah.
You need,
like,
you need to calm
it doesn't
down.
help.
Don't let that bother
And
you.
even somebody that can let it roll off their back, if that happens 100 times in a row, eventually something can have that effect if not dealt with either.
Yeah.
And every person's different where that line is.
Yeah, where they
depending on how you
exactly.
can react to it.
And see what's and I'll just speak from because like something like that, like you're talking about, that's a pretty big event, right?
Right.
I would take that big event and have no problem not taking it home. But like everybody else, it's something small that I'll take home.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've taken things out on the kids or Carrie or something based on something that had happened, but it wouldn't be for me, triggering for me wouldn't be a large event like that.
Yeah.
It's small things.
Someone cut you off in traffic type of thing, or like
Something that small, something that trivial.
Yeah.
For me, it's more likely that I have a bad attitude or take it out on somebody and it's something stupid and trivial than it would be something a major getting yelled at.
So let's just say you had a bad ump that was just calling everything against your team, something that you can't really control, pretty frustrated about.
I have been after games. I've went back to a hotel room or I've came home and been in a bad attitude
and drank the night away.
Not even necessarily that.
Bender.
Just
the blue bender.
Yes. But just been in a piss mood. Like, ask me a question, I'll answer it. I got no problem, but it'll be like a one-word answer.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That realization is hard to connect the two together for a lot of times, a lot of people. So you don't want to admit the fact that that's something upset you, and that's the action that's causing you to act this way to other people. So the realization doesn't happen with a lot of things. If you sat and you thought about it and you go, again, I couldn't control what that ump does. I control how I react now to it.
Right.
If you can stop that line with the realization in between it, then that action doesn't come because you're not upset anymore in that fact. And that's what I mean as far as letting others control. It's easy to say. I still struggle with it. I still work on it a lot. Of that realization part is so hard to come by. Of something if somebody says to not let that affect it.
And typically it clicks. You kind of mull it over, and you could be engaged in this with somebody, and then all of a sudden it just clicks, and you figure. For me, I just figured, okay, this is so. My daughter, who's gonna be turning 18 in a few months, and she's like, I can't wait. We're walking down the promenade in Vegas that I paid for her to come and be a part of the family. It's like the last vacation. That's what I was going to say. Now it pops in my head. It was the last vacation, family vacation. My daughter's 19. My other daughter's about to be 18. My son's 15. My other daughter, my youngest is 6. They all got, significant others. So it's like, this could be the last family trip before like a boyfriend is joining us, or maybe they can't make it because they've got other plans. And so this is like the final vacation. That's why I was happy with the money. It was spent more than I wanted to. Didn't gamble as much as I wanted to, but spent more. And I was happy with the whole thing because it was like, well, this is worth it. But anyway, I'm walking on the promenade, and my daughter, who's like, and I can't tell if she's just flipping me shit or if she's just like being serious. And that's the thing that kind of bothers me. She's like, I can't wait. We're going to move out. We're not going to be here. You know what? And like, I don't have to deal with you guys anymore. And I'm like, and it wasn't even because I said, oh no, I said, hey, our flight's leaving. Let's walk the strip. We got to be at the airport in like 3 hours or like 2 hours. Let's walk the strip for like an hour, go back to the hotel room, pack, and take a nap. Well, she wanted to take a nap right then. And I was like, no, let's just enjoy the last little bit, get some sun, and then we'll have an hour, but let's not spend 2 hours in the hotel room. So she was just like, nyeh, 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 nyeh. And I usually engage, and I'm like, and I get frustrated, and I get heated, and I get going with it, and then I raise my voice, and I did the Craig, and the Craig worked for me. I just disengaged with it. I'm like, why am I letting this ruin my vibe here? I'm in the place I like to be with my family who I love, and I'm like, I'm not going to let this little squabble, so I just stopped talking. And I just was like, I'm just going to ignore it. And she saw that I ignored it. And then so she went at me a little bit more. Oh, so you're just, okay, fine, whatever. Are you mad? I'm like, yeah, I'm a little mad, but you know what? No big deal. Let's just enjoy our time. She could tell it. And then within 10 minutes, she was like, sorry, Dad. I shouldn't have done that. I should have said that. I was joking. I let it get. But like, that could have gone on for another 45 minutes of me just going back and forth with her. I just needed, and I just that realization. And then I disengage, and it didn't bother me anymore. Like, why am I letting this bother me? But again, I think what you said about killing the ego, because I'm the one letting it bother me.
Well,
you know?
In that moment was big for you.
Yeah.
And it could have been, not that it wasn't important for them either.
Right.
But the realization is that everything that you just described was big for you in that moment,
right.
to have everybody there to do everything. An 18-year-old doesn't have that same mindset of understanding until that 18-year-old turns 35 and looks back and goes, "How that was really cool when we got to spend that time together." So you're in that mindset now to realize that. So having that engagement in the middle of it and being able to be like, you know what, I don't control this 18-year-old mind of how she's going to feel right now, but I can control that this is what I want, and I can still enjoy what I have right here in front of me because she's still right here next to me.
Right. And that's the thing. When you're a teenager, they don't get it.
No, there's plenty of things I look back on now that were said or done, and I go, man, I appreciate what was done back then. And at that age, I had no concept of it.
None. That's when you go on that family trip and you're like, this is boring. There's no roller coasters. There's no waterworks. There's no nothing. We're just driving on a road trip to Wyoming. Boring. And now as an adult, I'm like, that was awesome. Because roller coasters, they're a dime a dozen, but just sitting bored in the back of a car with your entire family actually was a pretty cool memory.
It's time together, and your concept of time changes. As a kid, you think you're invincible and your time lasts forever. And then as you get to the middle, you realize that you're in the middle and it doesn't last forever, and you need to enjoy everything you have as you go. And then as you get towards the end, you really realize it, that you need to have every moment, and you look back at all the past stuff you were able to do.
Has not been recording.
No, it has. We haven't had that in a while.
This is too serious. And recording.
Well, I was happy you got Craig in on that one. Craig, thank you for participating. When it comes,
I always participate.
Well, I know you do, but
I'm actually a very serious person. Even though I joke around a lot, I'm actually a serious person.
It's got deep emotional content.
So then, let's ask a really, since you're vulnerable right now and you want to get serious and deep.
I'm always vulnerable.
No, I thought your response was going to be like, "I'm never vulnerable."
When did you feel? What was the smallest thing that set you off?
As soon as you saw he had red hair.
What was the smallest?
I was neglected because I was never breastfed as a kid.
That's what set you off. No, what was it?
Started down this path.
What was the minor thing? I'll just, as you think about it, put you on the spot.
Do you know that for sure? Because I don't even know the answer to that.
What I said?
Yeah. Okay.
That's a joke, but yeah.
So is it not a joke or is it real?
No, I mean, I joke around about it, but it's actually a true statement.
Okay.
I didn't know if that was a true statement or not. I don't remember.
I was really into this girl when I was a senior in high school. I was really trying.
I was gonna say the trip you were just on.
I was trying to work. Work a job and my mom, with being a senior in high school, wanting to graduate, senior project, girl I like, just making money, working at all that stuff just like piled up, and I'm just using all my positive energy, like my focused on pleasing this girl that I liked, just like listening to every little rant and vent she's ever had in her life. And but you take your parents for granted. Well, my mom forgot to move the washer to the dryer. That she did my laundry, but she forgot to from the night before, and I had to work at like 5:30 with Bruce, the machine, and Derry, and
bionic hip,
and he, and so I went to get my clothes, and they were all damp and wet, and I'm going to be in a cooler, and I was just like, Mom, you're such an idiot. Why would you do? And I just like went off on her. I'm embarrassed of how I even responded. Like, and it was because I realized I was stressed out by this chick. I was stressed out about, and but there was a minor thing. I could have just,
You could have realized that they were just going to smell like the dairy anyway.
Yeah, just worn some wet clothes. It wasn't too bad. Throw it in the dryer for 20 minutes while I'm getting ready, and maybe get that a little bit just warm wet. But anyway, that was my major small thing that set me off. What do you have one that you can remember?
Like
When
does it have to be at high school or at any point?
Any point, just a small thing.
There's a lot. I don't know. I can't really name one because what happens is if I get set off and it's something that I feel is my fault or I have to apologize for, I do it and then I wash it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I want to say I learned from it. That's the correct thing to say. But I mean, it's going to happen at some point again. But I don't really sit and I couldn't go back and tell you all the stuff that it's had because as soon as I consider things done as soon as they are done. That makes sense.
So once someone apologizes for it, or is it once you have your outburst and it's over?
For me, it works both ways.
Okay.
Because I've had the same scenario like you said where the kids have said stuff or, whatever, and then I'm just wait, and a day later or 2 days later they come apologize or we start talking and okay, we're good. Move on.
Like no biggie.
Yeah. Life
Life is good.
Yeah.
Live our life. Yeah. I think that's kind of, but you don't remember a specific thing?
No, I know that they're there.
It wasn't that they accidentally hit you in the face with something on accident and
No.
balls.
No.
Core? Little thing set you off?
So I used to really get upset about, and that I've worked on not doing anymore, was back when I was married, probably in the middle stages of my marriage. Like if I had something that was mine and I put it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And I went back there and it wasn't there anymore, I would get pissed off.
Oh.
Because I put it there for a reason.
And
I know
someone
where
came along.
I know where it is. I put it there for a reason, and I'm coming back to get it.
It's not there.
And I don't know where it is, and I didn't move it.
Craig's that gif of that guy hiding behind the palm tree thing in the room. He's just going, I know I can set Corey off.
Yeah.
He set the thing down. Now I'm going to go take it and move it.
90% of the time, it was her just moving it or throwing it somewhere.
Oh, I
So I would get
gotcha.
upset. I'd be like, why are you moving this? 10% of the time, it was me just not remembering
Forgetting.
where I put it.
Yeah.
But it was the same exact reaction of like, why is this being moved? Or like, if I put my jacket here on this chair, why is my jacket
is
not
my
here?
jacket gone?
I want to leave for work right
I got
now.
my socks in the living room floor on purpose.
Like, just like, I'm leaving right now. I should be where I need it to be. Why is it not there?
Yeah.
And then I would instantly just be like, you could feel that blood pressure rush.
Oh,
of being
yeah.
like, "Ugh."
Oh, it feels
Like,
good.
that would instantly happen.
Yeah.
in
That's
those
why you
moments.
need to get to places early. So when you go to leave and don't have that stuff, you're still okay.
Well, I would wake up a half hour before I would go to work. So I'd have things in certain places.
What if he just went off on you? That was the thing that set Corey off.
like, ah!
I don't know if there's a whole lot that I could set Corey off by saying.
Well,
he just wouldn't care.
Probably not, but sorry, Corey.
Not anymore.
What if we interrupt you the entire time?
Go ahead. Like, there's still things that I would get angry at,
Yeah.
but I process it better now than I did
Right.
before.
Yeah. The other day, I'll do Octordle with a buddy of mine and my brother. And my brother,
They'll do what?
Octordle. It's like Wordle. It's like a word,
Oh.
but it's 8 of them, and it's like a huge. It's like a hard. It's like
8. Okay.
yeah. It's like a brain buster.
Like the
I'd never heard of that
like the
before.
You should
octagon.
do Octordle and play it. It's a daily
It's like
brain
a phone
buster.
game or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Just go. It's like New York Times has it. You just go type in octordle.com.
Huh.
And then
Interesting.
refreshes
It's a brain
every day.
game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and then you get your buddies in on it, and like whoever can get the better score each day. So there's 2. There's a sequence and a regular, and you've got to get both. One day, okay, it was at my brother's bachelor party that I got. One of my buddies was like, "Hey, well, you guys both know him, but one of the buddies, and he's like, hey, how many space dust do you think you drink or something like that? I'm like, I could probably drink 6 in an hour and a half. And he's like, there's no way. So I drank 6 in an hour and a half, and it was at my brother's bachelor party where it was his friend group from school, his friend church group from obviously church, and then like his friend work group from work, and it was like all three, like there's like 8 of us representing each other. We're all together like a freaking I don't know.
Did you guys have like an Anchorman fight
Well,
after all this?
well, we were playing this
Like
this
3 frat houses.
we're playing this yard game where this guy takes it super seriously. He has these elaborate yard games,
He's
like
a bro.
cube, knocking things over, stuff like that. And he was explaining it, and I was like, again, gone. Like, so I'm just like, oh, is that what you're doing? And this guy who never gets upset, you rarely see him lose his temper. When he loses his temper, it's over. He's done. He came over and we called it the 2-handed face push, because he just put both of his hands on my face and shoved me to the ground. And like Derrick Henry, just like my body bounced
What'd
off
you
the
do?
ground.
Did you just yell assault?
I was laughing so hard. I thought it was so funny. I got him so mad. You know how that feels when you get somebody mad that never gets mad.
It's amazing.
It feels great, and I'm laughing. So I changed my ESPN team
Remember
name.
that ego thing we talked about?
Yeah, the double-handed face push. So what we'll do if we beat each other, if we have the lowest score, it's good to have the lowest score, the better. If you have the lowest score of these, then we'll, you have to have both. Then you can send a GIF to the group of the double-handed face push. So just type it in. It's weird. You'll see all these different movies that have somebody getting shoved weirdly with 2 hands. Anyway, but so I set him off. So yeah, Octordal. So we're talking. I was gonna win this one. I was all lined up, and then Adam beat me. Well, he tied me, so it was technically not a win. And so we started reminiscing. My brother, I was going to ask you this, Craig. My brother scared the crap out of me because I knew how to bug him and push him and needle him. And then he would snap. Not every time he would snap, because it was fun towing that line as an older brother. You flew close to the sun, see how far you could push him, and then you kind of backed away. But every once in a while, the excitement was letting him snap. But he would, once he snapped, he would put his head down, ball up his fists, and we're talking about as kids, and he would just chase me around the yard, just swinging as hard as he could. Like there was no stopping him, like nothing to stop him. Did you ever push Corey to that point where Corey was just ready to murder you?
He tried.
No, you were just. Is that why? So he's like, I can never crack my brother, so I'm going to get everybody else I know.
I can't. Well, we told the one story. I've only gotten super mad one time. All the other stuff was like normal. We already told this story on here because his shoulder was already hurt. That's the only time I remember like losing what my thoughts were, and I was just going to hurt him.
That was it. You're just like, whatever it is. I don't care.
Yeah, it was just hurt.
I want him to feel the pain that I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, I remember he was holding my face in the grass and just like laughing and saying
like
whatever.
Well,
I'm allergic to grass, and he knows it. And he was just holding my face in the grass, and I was just getting more and more pissed. That was the only moment I've ever really like lost my thought and being like, he's just going to pay right now.
So he's basically just the
trying to kill me.
He's the Christmas Story bully.
He's trying to kill me.
And you were just like on top of him, just
no. I just put him in an armbar.
Oh, really?
I put him in an armbar and yanked back on his shoulder that was already hurt.
Did it hurt? You remember this?
It popped out.
Oh,
It already popped out numerous times before that. He just did it.
I love it. Sorry, I got
aim for the spots you know.
Gotta pay this thing for my kid. All right, well, we went long and hard and deep with Corey, kind of deep with Corey. We got super deep with Corey on that one. So good job.
Anytime.
And let's go ahead and do our shout outs.
I'll do a shout out to Jamie Roberts.
Dude, yes. I like to as well, but keep going.
That's it.
Yeah, well, what's the reason?
Nope. Just doing it. He knows.
He knows why. What about you? Who's your shout out?
Not that he listens. I'll shout out Brandon. Enjoy your game.
Dude, get him to listen to this one at least. He'll
and
probably
then
log off
I'll
at
shout
some
out
point.
listeners for staying and listening to all that. And then send some questions, especially, or if you want to do it anonymously, like these conversations we have when we do this going deep thing. Even if you want to ask a question, just send it and ask Travis to do it anonymously. We'll talk
Open
about
window.
whatever you want to talk about.
Dude, that would be fun. I'd like that
Because
because
I think it needs to be like, not that we need to do it all the time, but it also some of the stuff needs to be like destigmatized and just talk openly about some of it.
well, I'm excited to do we're heading into March Madness, in 2.5 months. So I'm excited to
You got that count.
that was a lot of fun doing that. In the fantasy football, all right, you got me. You did it. Did you make the playoffs though, Craig? I don't know. Did you make the
Are you
playoffs?
talking about your league?
You got me. I don't know who to pay. I don't know who to pay on that.
I'm telling you right now.
iRobot is smashing right now.
Hopefully you have to pay me.
Are you? Oh yeah.
I got to buy this week.
I thought you did 2 entries. You've been iRobot.
I am iRobot.
You've been
That
iRobot.
would be awesome.
That would be so. Just 2 phones to draft during it. Sorry, I can't make the draft, guys.
I told you I'm burned out for a reason. I've been doing too many teams.
You've been iRobot. So that wasn't you?
No, I told you that.
If you win this week, do you play me or where's your go-to?
My Kittle went off. Thankfully, I'm playing John Salbrack.
I ended up with the 1 seed. So would you play the 1 seed
I'm playing. Yeah, I'd play you. I think.
next if you win?
Yeah.
All right.
So I finished 6th. So yeah, it was rough. Go ahead, Craig. Go ahead and say it. But you already knew. Craig already knew.
Yes.
Go ahead, Craig. Say it. Haha, you got me.
I didn't get you.
Okay, iRobot. We still got Patreon. Surprising.
That is surprising.
Down to 12.
I've been waiting for these things just to fall off, and it's still staying on. I wonder if it's Russell Brand. I don't know who is it. Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Adam Kenny Art, Seth Loop, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson, Ben Illman, Jamie Roberts, Jamie Kenny, Apollo Doodle, Jackson Sidehook. Still going.
He's gambling now. He's making money.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Every time he's come on, he can talk to you about gambling.
Oh, man, I'm in.
He's into it now.
Sasha Carey Lynn, Russell Brandon, Thomas Savageau, Councilman Anthony Wright, and Sage Hills Golf and RV Resort. Thank you. Shout out to you guys. I'm going to shout out Jamie Roberts' wife, Morgandy. 40th birthday. Recently had. Happy birthday to you. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry that it's been kind of a delay. We will, special announcement, be back for fantasy football next year with Craig Bentley.
With new people.
And
Probably Russell Wilson. He might be out of a job.
and Corey Bentley. Yeah. So thank you guys. Love you guys. And then stay tuned to Full Buddy Fantasy Full Buddy Brunch. Full Buddy Brunch. Which Craig, would you go to that too?
Depends on the day.
On Sunday where there's nothing going on.
Maybe.
Okay. Corey?
Scramble?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Dude, what if we could might be able to get like the garage night on the menu maybe.
Yeah, we got to get it on somewhere.
Yeah.
I know. Thanks a lot for the Bentley burrito not appearing yet.
Or any beer at Cole Street.
Does the kettle have like a bowl or something that they sell?
The Bentley Bowl.
The Bentley bowl. It comes with something in it.
I'd be fine with garage night though. That'd be all
Kinda
right.
cool. Well, I'll talk to a few of my peeps.
The garage night special.
Or what about the Bentley Bowl Rito, where it's a breakfast burrito ingredients in a bowl.
Yeah.
And then show Andy what he missed out on.
Yeah. And then tell him that he can do a bowl burrito, but it's just a broken down regular burrito in a bowl.
So you get
This
it for
is
breakfast and dinner.
you can go get a bowl of each burrito variety
The Bentley
and
Bowl
stay
Rito.
local. You're welcome.
That's good. That's great. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week and go Hawks.
I don't need to say it, but go Eagles.
Go next year.